Hey guys, it is day number 33 of 90 Facebook Lives in a row. My name is Alan Thomas, and if you guys don't know me, I have Rethink Dieting for Men, where I help men overcome the weight that's held them back from living the life that they're destined to live. And a little bit about my story is in 2017, I reached the gargantuan size of 304 pounds on a 5'11 body. And I looked down at the scales and I saw just the next 10 years of my life probably wouldn't happen at 55 years old. And so I publicly lost 129 pounds in 260 days, and now I help men with the strategies that I learned along that journey. I have a little different approach than most because I don't believe it's just about the diet or exercise. I believe it goes beyond that. And tonight I want to talk to you about freedom. And you know, it's Fourth of July tomorrow. Most people are observing it today. Just got through cooking, grilling on the grill, grilling some stuff for tomorrow. And and I remember when I reached 304 pounds, one of the things that I noticed, and I noticed it in men prior to me working with them, is they think that eating anything you want whenever you want is freedom. And it becomes almost an obsession where as the weight goes up, they begin. I did this. I hid and ate. You know, you wouldn't admit that at the time. You're thinking, well, but I don't want my family really to know that I'm having this extra bite of food or this extra this because I just had a huge meal with dessert and everything, and I'm still wanting to eat. And so, you know, that was freedom to me. That meant freedom is what I thought. I could just eat whatever I want when I wanted. And then as I got larger and larger and larger, you know, I became a prisoner of my own body. And so many of the men that I work with actually describe their situation as being like being in a prison, the prison of obesity. And when you get to that point, and then you try to turn it around, and you go to the latest diet that's on television, or the one you see on Facebook that's been talked about, or the one that your best friend lost 10 pounds in 3 days or something crazy like that. And you do it for a week, 2 weeks, maybe three. Maybe you drop 10 pounds, 15 pounds, and then you shift off that diet, and then you're on to something else. So is it really just the diet that gets you there? I mean, do you have to change your eating pattern? Of course you do. Do you have to change your exercise pattern? Of course you do. But is that really what's holding us back from losing the weight that we need to lose? I don't think so in most cases. When I was gaining, when I was 250 pounds, 260 pounds, 270 pounds, I'd lose down to 240, then I go up to 280, then I'd lose to 270, and then I go to 290, and it ultimately ended up over 300 pounds. Was really because, when with freedom, comes some responsibility. And when and this is not a political talk, by the way, but just really about weight. But I think freedom, just the concept transfers over here, incredibly well, because when you think of the amount of times that if you struggle with 50 or 100 or 200 pounds of being overweight and being morbidly obese like I was, you realize that the freedom that you thought you had by not exercising any boundaries became this prison, like I said earlier. But as I see men moving towards, I was on the phone with one of my clients today that he's had an incredible journey, that he made a decision to literally transform his body, and he's done unbelievably well. Still has a little bit to go, but you tell me, was he more free when he was eating anything he wanted and was almost 300 pounds, or was he more free now that he's lost most of that weight and he's in control and he's more powerful, he's better with his kids, he's, feels better, has more energy, he doesn't feel like a monster's around his neck when he sits down with a meeting with somebody that he hadn't seen in a while. He feels like he's in control, and that's where freedom is. Freedom is in being able to say, I'm going to handle this, and I'm going to take control of this, and this is never going to master me again. That's freedom, because you have to have boundaries around that. And so when people come to me, a lot of times people think I've got, oh, he's got this secret thing that, nobody has. Well, do I have a solution? Yeah, I believe I do. I mean, it worked for me, and it's working for a lot of different men. But the thing that I say to you is it starts with a change of heart. It starts with a change of heart of whether am I going to live this way for the rest of my life? Or am I going to take a stand now and change everything, which will affect my family? I can't tell you how many families I talk to that the dad being morbidly obese is affecting everybody in there, the kids, the spouse, everything. I can't tell you how many of these guys that I meet, and I talk about this a lot, the outside, the secondary effects, which are much more detrimental than even the health concerns. Do you have to have great health to be, to do the things you want to do? Of course you do. But when you look at how it affects those around you, how it affects your business, almost without question, every guy I work with, if they're in some type of capacity in business, they believe it's costing them money in their business. Because they feel like they can't speak up because they're that guy that is morbidly obese, and they're just embarrassed. It's not just going to the theme park and having to get the guy come over and close, what is it, the bar. They can't even close the bar because they're so fat, and that embarrassment where you're sitting there with your kids and you're the guy that has to get extra help because of the fact that you let yourself go so out of control. It's anarchy of the body, and it's not just about the health. Is the health important? 100%. But are all those other consequences, all those things, holding you back from something that may be even more important? And I'm careful how I say that, but if we don't live, if you can't get past the fork, if you can't get past the spoon, and you can't, which means it's going to affect the business, it's going to affect the family, it's going to affect the kids, it's going to affect your wealth, it's going to affect everything, and then you start having massive health issues, then all of it just comes tumbling down. And so freedom comes at a cost, and the cost is that you have to have boundaries. And when you have these boundaries with your weight, with your food, with your exercise, you end up having this power that goes beyond anything you've ever experienced. If you're a morbidly obese man, when you get control of it, and you really have control, it is a powerful time. And then you can do the great things that you've wanted to do. You can, it goes beyond just walking by a mirror and seeing that you're now a 32 or 34 inch waist or whatever that ideal weight is for you. It goes beyond that. It goes into you're building a legacy and living your purpose. I know, I talk with a lot of guys about them feeling like they just can't do that thing that they want to do because of that weight. So while we're celebrating our country's freedom, while we're enjoying cookouts and the different things, think about that freedom that you maybe have let get out of control, that's led to you wearing a 40 or 42 or 46 or 48 or 50 waist or whatever that is, and a XXX shirt or whatever that is. And this isn't about a clothing size. This is about literally rethinking everything you've thought about dieting from a standpoint of mindset, and putting the focus on getting it done. And if you're ready, if you're stuck and you don't know what to do, go to the link in every one of these videos. I put it in there. And let's have an honest conversation. You can go to www.transformmyfuture.com/apply. That will reach my calendar. When you go to my calendar, you can pick a spot that works for you. And then when you pick that spot, it'll take you to a short application that lets me know who I'm talking to. So fill that out if this speaks to you. And maybe I can help get you unstuck, and really get free. Not just where you eat anything you want, but where you can actually control it. So you guys have a happy 4th. I'll see you tomorrow.